After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yeah, G-Man, couple things. No one is jealous of you. Let's list the ways, shall we? You're homeless. You bounce around from...
Wow, that was an interesting infomercial there. Don't think I'm going to buy any of those products since those products seems to be very tainted. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sowing and Reaping YouTube channel. And I want to be honest about something. I actually forgot that I was supposed to go live. I was in the middle of doing some chores and I completely forgot about this. This is what happens when I talk about irrelevant people in here like Tatted, but we'll get to him in a moment. What I want to do in this particular video here today is I want to discuss my marathon. I want to discuss what led up to my marathon, you know what I mean? And then talk about this comment that this science guy left on my YouTube channel. And as always, when I get ready to do these things, what I should have did was I should have got that little tiger thingy, that little 2-minute intro I used to have on here, because it's going to be one of those videos. Because honestly, I'm getting a little tired of people on here coming on here claiming they know so much about science and they're scientific and all this other stuff and whatnot, and they don't know jack about it. And I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove it without even trying, really, to be perfectly honest. But again, welcome to the Sowing and Reaping YouTube channel. And what I want to do to prove that I do got a sense of humor, you know what I mean? I do like to goof around a little bit. I'll let everybody see the comments. Check this out. I thought this was pretty good. That was funny. That one. Let's see. That one. That one. That one. That one. That one. That one. Okay. That one. 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 And that one. Again, I want to apologize to everybody for being late for this stream here, but I'm going to talk about something regarding health and fitness and wellness today. I'm going to be talking about Tatted and the comment that he made, and hopefully after today he will stop sounding so stupid when he leaves comments, because normally when he leaves his comments he don't sound this dumb, but this one right here was just went on a whole nother level of ignorance, and we'll get to it in a minute. So anyway, as I told people months ago that I was going to be training for a marathon, I was actually thinking about doing Jersey again, but I ended up doing Steamtown. It was different. Steamtown was a marathon that I was told that was predominantly downhill. And I was also told that it was a qualifying marathon for Boston or New York. And the reason why Boston and New York is so important to me is because, for what I understand, unless my information is incorrect or whatever, if you win Boston or you win New York, you get $1 million. But you got to be a professional athlete, to actually do it. But I'm the kind of person that likes to compete. I'm not somebody, and you'll know this about me if you listen to me long enough here on YouTube. I love to compete. I'm not one of these people that run from competition. All right. I'm one of these people, even if I'm well over my head, that I will go out there and I will compete with another person or a group of people or whatever. I love it. I live for it. And it's not necessarily a good thing. If you've never met me in person, you don't really understand just how deep it goes. I remember when I met, and I talk about this a lot on this channel. Well, not lately, but when I met Drag and those guys in person, I wanted to race Redline from New York to New Jersey, because they was just talking all this smack about how fast he was, how many pull-ups he could do, and all this other stuff and whatnot. I was like, I'll race you to New Jersey. We can go right across the bridge, and we'll see who'll get there first. I knew I was going to win because I was going to pace myself, and there's a difference between running a marathon and doing a sprint. But yeah, I'm very competitive, even when it's clearly when I'm in over my head. So I took I think it was like a 1.5 year hiatus from running marathons. I ran 4 of them. I never ran the Steamtown one before. And I decided to train for the Steamtown Marathon. This is my first time doing a downhill marathon. I almost did everything. that I was supposed to do. I think YouTube took up a lot of my time in terms of like some of my training or whatever, because obviously there was periods when I wasn't even on here. And when I wasn't on here, I was running. And people got to understand the dedication that you got to have to this. Not only do I got to work to pay my bills and everything, not only did I have to go through all that stuff with the house, but I got days when I'm only going to run 2 miles. Another day I'm going to run 5, and another day when I'm practicing running 21 miles. Practicing running slow and having extremely sore legs when I finish, and then is expected to do the other things I have to do in my life. You know what I mean? And I made time to do those things. And I enjoyed it. And as a matter of fact, I actually improved, if you ask me. Some of the training that I did was, which I think was kind of stupid in the beginning, but I was doing 2 long runs during the week during practice. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to do an easy run, a tempo run, a speed run, a midweek run, which is supposed to be anywhere between 10 and 13 miles, and then your long run could be anywhere between anywhere between 18 to 22 miles. I was doing 20 and 21 miles in my practice this particular time, because I was told the importance of having your legs strong for a downhill marathon. And like I said, there's a reason why I'm going through all of this, because like I said, Tad had said something extremely stupid in my chat, and I was want to give people a little bit of background about what I was doing. And yeah, I'm gonna put my face on camera a little bit later, so just give me some time here. So anyway, I was doing all those trainings and everything and whatnot. And for those of you who don't know, I do suffer from sciatica. All right. So not only am I doing all these trainings and whatnot, I got to be mindful, because I'm not supposed to be doing certain exercises with sciatica. I literally had to take 800 milligrams of ibuprofen and a muscle relaxer just to do some of my long runs sometimes, because I wasn't going to try to hear it. I was trying to really get ready for this marathon or whatever. I didn't do as much treadmill as I normally did. I did a lot of street runs. I was doing a lot of my long runs in Bayonne, New Jersey, in Jersey City, New Jersey, in Newark, New Jersey, and I was doing a lot of my long runs up in Bergen County. So I was going up and down a lot of hills when I was doing my training regimens. Okay. And it was very taxing on my body. All right. You have to be a person that likes pain and I mean physical pain. You have to be okay with physical pain in order to run a marathon, especially when you when you're doing the times that I'm doing, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But it's a very painful event to do. Okay. Now, why am I talking about all of this? Tadit came on my YouTube channel and said, and he once again, this ain't the first time. This wouldn't be the second time, but Tadit has this thing where he criticizes the times that I have when I run my marathon. Anybody who's actually run a marathon and listening to this knows that if you participate in the marathon, all of the runners there are supporting each other regardless of your time. Tadit, you should know where this is going, Tadit, and you ain't gonna like it, okay? But everybody is supporting each other regardless of their time, telling you to keep going. You can do it. You can do it. I was giving people advice that was behind me regarding cramps that they was going through, because I was going through the same muscle cramps myself, about how they needed to use more of their thighs and less of their hips, how they needed to slow down a little bit, how they need to shake some things off, how they need to get some more electrolytes in their body. You know what I mean? But they was very supportive to me too. They told me, look, when you start out, you don't go too fast. You don't do this. This is your first time on the course. Wear these kind of shoes. Do this, do that, do this, do that. You know what I mean? But the point is, the people that participated in the marathon were very supportive with each other. Why is it when I get on YouTube that this guy on here who claims to be some type of fitness expert, and like I said, Taddy, you did this to yourself. I call you Faty Jedi for a reason, okay? You're the only person who I see on the internet that doesn't seem to understand the differences between an endurance runner and somebody who is working out to build muscle. I'm going to cut my camera on for this one. Hold on for a minute here. Why is it that you claim to be scientific and you don't know the difference between building muscle, building mass, and not creating and not building endurance? They are not the same thing. Your claim to fame is that you can bench press 350 pounds. The day I decide not to no longer do these marathons no more, I'm going to embarrass you again. I already have a video on my YouTube channel doing 300 jumping jacks, and I think I was doing squats for like 5 minutes straight on my YouTube channel. And I look a whole lot better than you, dude, with wearing revealing clothes. A whole lot better than you. All right? And I'm in much better shape than you. And if you believe that I'm wrong, I will agree for charity. I will do it for charity. I will meet you in person and I will race you for 26 miles. And let's see how you do. Come on, I like to get my laugh on. And I know when I'm going to win. The challenge I'm giving to you is a guaranteed W for me and a guaranteed L for you. All right? So, Daddy came on my YouTube channel. Oh, gee, man, your time was terrible. My time was 4 hours and 34 minutes when I crossed the finish line. If you go to the official site, I believe it's at 4 hours and 35 minutes, I think. But when I crossed the finish line, it was 4 hours and 34 minutes. When I went on the site, I think it was like 4 hours and 35 minutes. And just to be 100% sure, I'm going to say 4 hours and 40 minutes because honestly, it doesn't make a difference, to be perfectly honest. I did, I averaged, if the people who actually did go on the site to see how good I did, I came in 600, and I think I was number 622 on the site. I didn't check that before I came on here, but I think I came in 622. The slowest runner was 36 years old, and this person finished at 7 hours and 25 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. I was 3 hours faster than the 36-year-old. Now, some of the things that Tatted and some of the people are saying is, oh, G-Man let a 72-year-old. That 72-year-old that you're talking about, that was his 13th or 14th marathon. This was only my 5th. And I'm not a person that's been running my whole life. You understand what I'm saying? I had to teach myself how to do this. And the very fact that I have to explain this to a person like Tatted tells you the kind of person that he is. There is a reason, ladies and gents, that I call the Geek Room the things that I call them. I'm not trying to call them names for the sake of calling them names. I call them Faty Jedi for a reason. I call Frank a stalker for a reason. And I call that show a racist platform for a reason. Because the things that I hear and the things that I hear them say, and I'm not the only person. Go ask Jesus is Lord. Go ask Veckel. Go ask a lot of those guys what they think about the Geek Room. Right? So I finished at 4 hours and 34 minutes, and I am proud. And the reason why I'm proud is because I averaged 10-minute miles for the entire marathon, going downhill for the very first time. If you've never ran a marathon before, and then the first 8 miles of the marathon that you're running is nothing but downhill. The elevation, ladies and gents, was 1,700 feet. That's how high we started. I forget what it was when we came down. It might have been 600 or something like that, above sea level or whatever. But the point of the matter is that I did that, and my hamstrings by mile 13 were finished. They were finished. I was walking sometimes at mile 13 and made myself run to finish that marathon. Okay, this is the first marathon, some of the positives, where I didn't just stop for 20 or 30 minutes to deal with cramps. I ran through the cramps, and I am so proud of that. It's not even funny because, again, I'm suffering from sciatica. I'm suffering from a lot of back pain. You know what I mean? That ain't never going to go away. That's going to be with me for my entire life. And I ran through these cramps because, honestly and truthfully, some of these back spasms that I've experienced was a lot worse than these cramps. Now, Tatted, I would like to hear your video about how when you ran your marathon and your legs felt like they was going to fall off, how you finished. And I'd like to know what your time is. So that's right. You never ran one of them before. So you wouldn't know. Right, Tatted? You have no idea. Just like I can't tell you what it's like to bench press 350 pounds. I can't tell you what that's like. I can tell you what it's like to bench press 300 pounds, but I can't tell you what it's like to bench press 350 pounds. Okay. This is why you don't deserve to be considered somebody who should be respected in the scientific field, because you don't even know the difference between amino acids, proteins, building muscle fibers, getting stronger, getting bulkier, as opposed to building endurance. You know nothing about that. What you know about is, G-Man, your time was terrible. I'll tell you what, Taddy, we both work out. We both work out. Taddy, what do you think I need to do, Taddy, to be a better endurance athlete? And believe you me, it's not bench pressing. It's not bench pressing. Can you give me your scientific take on what I need to do to be a better endurance athlete? You can't tell me that. You want to know why? Because you're too busy picking up heavy weight. If me and you got on a treadmill and I said, put your treadmill on 10 and I put mine on 10, you're stopping before me. I promise you that. You're stopping before me. I'm going to go an hour and a half. How long can you go in practice, bud? And then on top of that, I'll finish with that, get some water, and then do some Stairmaster. And then when I'm done with the Stairmaster, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to do some squats. And then when I'm done with the squats, I'm going to go to work. And when I'm done with work, I'm going to do another 10 miles. You can't do that, Taddy. And I wouldn't put you down for that because you don't know anything about endurance, about building endurance. You know nothing about that. There are many atheists on here who Suzuki Das, Lee Lemon, several of them that I gave credit to, who helped me in the past. And I'm not even a fan of Suzuki Das. Lee Lemon and me have been friends on here for 10 years. And she's an atheist. And she gave me advice on what to do. You understand? Why is it that they understand this stuff and you don't? I'll tell you why. Because you're a fraud and you're a phony. I don't even think you can bench press 350 pounds. You know what I think? I think that you're all talking. You ain't no action. You ain't got no action whatsoever. Why don't you do a video actually running 10 miles and record the whole video? Because we both know I got videos doing that. Where's yours? Where is yours? If I was doing this on my laptop right now, I'll be showing people a lot of stuff on the other channel that you think that nobody saw before. As a matter of fact, I think I should just do something like that live, and I think I will next time, just to get my laugh on. Maybe I'll do 500 jumping jacks on camera without breaking a sweat. You know what I mean? So there's a difference, Tadit, between constructive criticism and just criticizing. Oh, Jimmy, your time was terrible. But you don't got a time to compare it to. When you ran your marathon, Tadit, how did you do? You never ran one before. You probably would have a heart attack if you tried too, right? I'll tell you what, I'm going to run Steamtown again next year because I'm determined to do 3.5 hours so I can qualify for Boston and New York, because that's my goal. My goal is not to bench press 350 pounds right now. Why don't you join the same race and let's see how you do? I would rather drop dead of a heart attack 10 times over than let you beat me, because it will never, ever happen. Like, all right, caramba. Okay, I'll tell you what, Taddy. Why don't you go back into the geek room and educate your audience of trolls and go out there and explain to everybody what's the difference between cardio and building muscle? What's the difference between strength training and cardio? I would use some other big words, but I'm afraid I might blow your head up a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? You know what you're talking about, dude. The point of the matter is that when I ran this race, I passed the finish line. Do you know how many people in the world actually run a marathon? I believe less than 11% of the planet runs a marathon and finishes it. You are not part of the 11%, dude. You are not elite, period. What you are is a guy on here with no self-esteem, who feels very lowly about himself and wants to get on the internet and go, oh, yeah, G-Man, your time was terrible, G-Man. There was somebody that did 7 hours and 20, and I would never contact them and go, yo, that was just terrible. That person passed the finish line, and that person accomplished their goal. I'm going to give them a pat in the back. And I'm a competitive person doing that. See the difference between me and you, Taddy? Now, don't get me wrong. If I was attempting to do something that involved strength, where I was trying to do a deadlift or a bench press or pull-ups or something like that, a bicep curl or something like that or whatever, right? And I failed miserably, and I could and let's say I got on camera and I was barely able to do like 100 pounds or something like that, right? Then you got something to criticize me about, especially if I got on here and started bragging. But because you don't run and you don't know what it's like to run in a marathon, what are you really saying to me? What you're saying to me is that you wish you were me and you can't do it. That's what it is. You're jealous, Tatted. You're jealous. You're jealous. You're jealous because I ran a marathon and I finished it 5 times and I have 5 medals. Where's yours? I have 5 medals. Where's yours, Tatted? You don't have any. Okay? Documentation, and I taught you this a long time ago, Tatted. Documentation beats conversation, my friend. I'm a person that gets results. I'm not a person on here. I get results. It's like when you and your little crew said, well, Jimmy, I can't get no information about nobody. I think I blew you guys out the water on that one, didn't I? I'm all about results. So if you're gonna come on here and say that, gee, man, your time was terrible, yeah. I expect that to come out of the mouth of a person that's never ran before. Not out of the mouth of a person who's actually run before. Because people who run, they understand the absolute hell that you go through when you run. Let me tell you something. After 20 miles, you find out whether or not you're a man. As a matter of fact, Tatted, you have never done nothing in your life harder than running a marathon. And for those of you who actually ran one before or tried to do it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. After mile 20, it is hell on earth. You're running with tight, cramped up thighs, cramped up hamstrings, especially if you're doing it longer than 3.5 hours. Because usually, and now I'm about to go do some science here for little old Tatted because he doesn't know nothing about this topic. See, our body burns something called glycogen, right? Something that is stored in our body, and we use it as fuel. When that stuff is gone, when glycogen is gone, and you don't have the proper electrolytes in your body, you go through cramps, and more cramps. And you will get cramps in parts of your body that you didn't even know existed. And you have to run through it. In other words, you have to enjoy the pain. You have to have a real passion for what it is that you're doing. And Tatted, I'm sorry, dude. Nothing in your comment suggested that you actually care about fitness and working out. Because a person who actually does care about fitness, a person that does care about working out, understands this statement: no pain, no gain. They understand that you got to work through the pain and that you got to let that pain go through your body. And when pain leaves your body, you know what's going to replace it. And that is success. And you know nothing about that, sir, because you've never had to do it before. You sound like Shanny to me sometimes. You sound like Rev. Like you want everything that's a drop on your lap, and I'm just supposed to go win because I went out there and I trained for it. There are people who have been doing this for years. There are professional sprinters doing these things. There are Olympians running these marathons. I'm not an Olympian. I'm certainly not one of these world-class sprinters, but I want to compete against them, and I'm not afraid to compete against them. I don't care who they are. That makes it worse. If he was in the Navy, then he should know the grind. He don't know nothing about the grind. He don't know nothing about the grind. He doesn't know nothing about hard work. He doesn't know nothing about working your butt off, breaking down your muscles, recovering. He doesn't know nothing about having to get up, running with a sprained ankle, running with a sprained knee, running with small fractures. He doesn't know nothing about that. He doesn't know what it's like to have sciatica and try to run and do these things. Because Tatted Jedi is what I've been calling him for the longest, and that is an absolute joke. This dude should not be taken seriously when it comes to science. He should not be taken seriously in the reaction community. He should not be taken seriously in cancel culture. He should not be taken seriously in nothing until he proves that he actually knows what he's talking about, and he does not. You can't get on here and say, well, gee, man, I bench press 350 pounds. What does I got to do with endurance exercises? What does that got to do with anything with that? I got a question for you, Taddy. Electrolytes. What kind of electrolytes do you think? I'm sorry. How much salt do you think I should have consumed before the marathon? And then after the first hour in the marathon, how much salt do you think I should consume? Should it have been 100 milligrams of salt? 500 milligrams of salt? I'm talking about before the marathon now. Okay. 600 milligrams of salt or 2,000 milligrams of salt? That sounds like a lot, don't it? You'd be surprised how fast my body burns through that. That marathon was almost 2 weeks ago, and I've been nothing but hungry since. My metabolism has been on fire since the marathon. I'm excited about doing it next year. And there's nothing that you, Frank, the girl with the blue hair, the girl down the street, the dude over there in South Dakota, or anybody else on the planet is going to stop me from running in that marathon again. I feed off of this stuff. You just don't know, dude. You just don't know. As a matter of fact, you know who would be a good person who can explain this to you, Taddy? Go find Nate the lawyer. Go talk to him. Go find Nate the lawyer. He's played basketball with me. He's played ping pong with me. He knows what I'm like. Go talk to him. I'm addicted to competition. So you can just take that. You can just get out of here with that. Oh, G-Man ran real slow. G-Man ran real slow. Dude, if you want to give me some constructive criticism and you want to say, G-Man, I noticed that your time has been this, and this. Why have your times been so low? Have you been doing this? Have you been doing that? That I will receive. If you sit there and say, well, G-Man, maybe you ain't doing enough squats, or G-Man, maybe you ain't putting enough electrolytes in your body, or G-Man, maybe you're doing too many slow runs. Maybe you should do more tempo runs or more fast runs or something like that. Then I will listen to you. But if you're just going to get on here and go, oh, like a Neanderthal, like Tarzan, and get on here and be like, I bench press 350 pounds, G-Man. Why you come in 4 hours? Because I was running at 10 miles an hour, downhill for the first time. And I think that's a phenomenal accomplishment. What's your specific criticism about it? You sound very ignorant about it. You know what you sound like? You sound like me when I first got on YouTube talking about evolution. When I went, well, evolution was when Ash Ketchum threw the little Pokeball out and Pikachu came out. That's how you sound, dude. That's exactly how you sound. You don't sound like you know anything about fitness. As a matter of fact, Taddick, I would agree to have you on my YouTube channel sometime to talk about this topic, to prove you don't know nothing about fitness. And people are saying that you were in the Navy. Lubis says downhill should have been 6 minutes. That's what I was shooting for, because if I would have did 6 minutes, 6 or 7 minutes, I would have qualified for Boston. And in the beginning of the marathon, I was moving pretty fast. I was doing 7 in the beginning of the marathon. Then obviously after mile 13, I started slowing down. And I think it's because I started out too fast. After everybody and their mama told me not to do that. But I felt real good the first 10 miles. Real good. It was nothing. It was nothing. I think my problem was the night before the marathon, the night leading into the marathon. I didn't get a lot of sleep. I was more concerned about making sure I had music on my iPod than I was about making sure I was resting my body and making sure I was ready for the event. And I think what I ate before, actually, this year was a pretty good breakfast that I had before my marathon, because I had a bagel with peanut butter, and I had one of those Gatorades with caffeine, and I took a lot of caffeine pills. I think about 2 or 3 of them. I took a lot of salt. Actually, one of the things that I did that I think that helped me improve with my training this time around is, for those of you who don't know this, I get the Vienna sausages, but I don't eat the Vienna sausages. I just drink the juice. Like, I literally have like no cramps, like in practice, up until about mile 18. And that's when the cramps will come. And I started drinking the Vienna sausage juice, and then I bought the supplements of salt, and I would take 3 or 4 of those. And I was taking about 1,500 milligrams of salt. I was taking a lot of salt before I ran out in my practices. That's why my practices, I felt real good. I think next time I'm going to mix the salt with a little bit of potassium, because I got me some constructive criticism from one of the runners, and it wasn't even bad. They said next time try to mix your salt with some potassium and some magnesium next time to have a more balanced mix of electrolytes. Now remember, Tad, I forget that didn't one of your friends called Dragnut get on here and say that water? No. It wasn't Dragnut. It was Doc Savage, and he's a dragoon. Wasn't that the moron who said that water was not a nutrient? If I'm not mistaken, it was Doc Savage who said that water wasn't a nutrient. And these are the kind of people that I'm dealing with, ladies and gents. That's why I rushed to make this video, because I know Taddy don't know what he's talking about. Taddy can tell you how to take creatine. Taddy can probably tell you what steroids do. Taddy could probably tell you the importance of amino acids and protein after you finish working out. He could probably tell you the importance of rest regarding strength training, but Taddy don't know jack squat diddly about endurance. He don't know nothing about it. And Taddy, I'm doing this more for like a rebuke, because you're going to go on your channel and you're going to say that G-Man's mad. I'm not mad, dude. You know what it is? It's just, I'm just dumbfounded by the amount of ignorance that comes out of your mouth sometimes. And how unprepared you are to deal with somebody like me. I know what Drag told you. Drag told you I was an idiot. I was dumb. I was uneducated. I couldn't articulate my words, and I can't spell. I get it. He's teasing me, blah, blah, blah. I tease Drag. Drag activates this. Drag activates that. We do it back and forth to each other. And that's all fine and well. But when it's time to go brass tacks, you know what I mean? It's time to get serious, and you still don't know what you're talking about. It's bad, dude. It's real bad. I'm not saying that he does steroids. Let me put this up here. But I bet you, as a person who builds his body for strength, he can tell you what steroids do better than I can. But he'll never be able to talk about endurance better than me. It'll never happen. He would have to Google everything and get the bare minimum to even be able to start. You need to bump the last quarter mile. I'm gonna tell you something. I almost quit the marathon at mile 13. That's how bad my legs were, because when I didn't know the upper part of your thighs would hurt like that after running downhill. This is the first time I did a downhill marathon. With the first 8 miles or so were nothing but downhill, and they really beat up my quads. I thought I would actually do better. And what it taught me is that next time I do this, I need to really focus on strength and focus on speed and getting past certain parts a little bit faster than what I did. So that's what I'm going to try to do next time. I saw a lot of people at the marathon, though. I think I seen at least 2 YouTubers. One of them were, I don't know her name, but I think I saw the lady that used to serve Shanny at the convenient mart. She was watching. And I saw another person that I worked for over there, and I think they said that they do YouTube or something like that. So for me, it was a really good experience. It was a really good experience. I had all them people clapping for me. They were loving what I was doing. And like I said, I'm going to try to train a little bit different to try to do a little bit better. Like I said, my goal is 3 hours and 30 minutes. Because if you can do 3 hours and 30 minutes, you qualify for Boston and you qualify for New York, much harder marathons. And then that's when you're running with the professional athletes. That's when you're running with Olympians, and you're running with them dudes that can do a marathon in 2 hours and 20 minutes, 2 hours and 10 minutes. And that's fast. That's real fast. That's above my pay grade. But those are the people that I want to compete against. Bucky says, honestly, G-Man, that's pretty good that you did a marathon. Shanny only runs to the door to get her drugs. Exactly. Exactly. But I'm not putting nobody down if they had a time lower than me. If I beat somebody by a minute or by 20 minutes or like an hour, which I did, that ain't nothing to brag about, because I didn't. Because for me personally, for my personal goals, I did not do 3.5 hours. And I am not going to stop running these until I qualify for Boston and New York. I really want to run in New York, and I want to run in Boston. I'm tired of doing the lotteries and not getting in. You have to prove that you can run at a certain pace to do New York. You have to be able to run at a certain pace in order to do New York and be taken seriously. Thank you, Todd. I ran 622. Thank you, Todd. But that's the official one. When I crossed the finish line, it didn't say 4:35:07. It said 4:34. So, but they did warn me and tell me that the chip time was going to be different than the time that I saw when I passed it, though. They did tell me that. So it's all good. I know one thing is better than 4:42 or 4:52 because my worst time, I believe, since I've been running these things has been 4:42 or 4:52. So I noticed that I'm about 8 minutes or 9 minutes or so faster than my worst time. So it's something to build on. You know what I mean? But again, this video is really directed towards Taddit because Taddit has been riding me for the longest about my marathon times and how I've been doing or whatever. And yet I can't find nobody on here. No, that's not true. That's not true. I know another Christian YouTuber on here that goes out and runs, and she was the one that was encouraging me, saying that when you're feeling pain, that's what is it? What did she say? She says when you're feeling pain, that's weakness leaving the body. And she was so right about that. Very motivating quote. She didn't go on there and say, G-Man, your times were terrible. That's only when you get in front of Taddit, Frank, the girl with the blue hair, and anybody on here that don't like you because they want you to suffer on here for no apparent reason whatsoever. And again, Taddit, Taddit, listen to me, Taddit. This is going to sound like I'm bragging, Tat, because now I'm going to get worldly with you now, okay? Now I'm going to get worldly with you. But I think people will understand what I'm going to say here in a minute. Taddit, based on my last 2 or 3 conversations with you about fitness, working out, health, and all that other stuff, dude, no disrespect, but I think I know a little bit more about this topic than you do. If I'm wrong, I will accept correction on that one, and that's fine. I will accept correction on that. But I would love to have a live show with you on the topic of fitness. I would love to have a conversation with you about fitness, live and in person, in the middle of a football field, just so that you can learn a little bit of respect. I'm not saying that you can't run. I'm just saying that you can't hold your speed as fast as I can. I mean, sorry, not as fast, for as long as I can. There's a difference, a big difference between picking up heavy weight and then maintaining a 6-minute mile for the whole 6 minutes. And then being able to function and do everything that you got to do without. Because that's what I'm used to doing. I'm not used to going out there picking up heavy weight. I used to do it. If you look at me, everybody that saw me at the expo was saying I looked like I was that I was an athlete to do something else and maybe not necessarily running because of the way my build is. I have an athletic build. I have a very athletic build. And by the time the marathon was here, my stomach was flat. My legs was extremely defined, except they wasn't strong enough for what the heck I needed to do. My sugar was fine. My blood was properly I had the proper amount of electrolytes in my body to get ready for a marathon. And I was ready to go. I had my brand new, well, I wouldn't call them new because I used them a couple of times. I paid $160 or $170 for these running sneakers that I use, and I love them. And I'm going to get me another pair of them because I credit the sneakers just as much as a whole bunch of other things. This is the first time I ran with compression socks. This is the first time I ran with the kind of sneakers that I ran with. This is the first time I ran with certain things that I was supposed to run with my first marathon. You know what I mean? I did, in my opinion, I think I did pretty good for what I was trying to do. The only thing is I need to shave 2 minutes off per mile. I need to do minimum eight miles an hour. I would love to do 7 or 6. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do that because of my age, but I definitely think I can do I definitely think I can hold 7 for at least 3 hours if I train a little bit harder. Nope, that's not what my time said. My time said I did a 10-minute mile. I was doing 10-minute miles. Now, if you break them down by the hours, by hour one, I wasn't doing no 10-minute and 30-minute miles. You're crazy. They actually, if you actually look on it, they break down how fast you was in the first part of the marathon as compared to the second half of the marathon. So again, I think I did good. I didn't want to get on here and talk about it because, quite frankly, I got some goals on YouTube that I want to accomplish on both this channel and on my other channel, and I want to get them done. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that this is the last and final year I'm talking about Shandy and Rev once and for all. And then I want to start focusing on my other channel again. So, and I actually want to make a third and a fourth channel if I possibly can. So I'm working on all of that stuff. And then I got the stuff that's going on in my own personal life. So again, Tatted, I hear what you're saying, man. You're saying my time was terrible. You never ran a marathon before. You have no idea the amount of pain that person's got to go through and the amount of mental toughness that you got to go through to start one of those things and to finish it. And until you actually do that, can you just do me a favor, Tatted, and keep your opinions to yourself about whether or not my time was good or not? Because you and me are like apples and oranges. You're bench pressing 350 pounds. That is not the same thing as running 26.2 miles, sir. Nowhere near it. I know a lot of people that can bench press 350 and 400 and 450 pounds. I know a lot of people that can do that. Those same people will tell you, look, I ain't running longer than 2 or 3 miles. I couldn't do it. It's the weakest argument ever. I never said I couldn't bench press 350 pounds. The most I've ever bench pressed was 300. And that was back when I was working on my strength. This is before the time of the marathons. I think I've been doing this whole marathon thing since 2010 or 12, I think. I have to look at the first marathon I did. I don't remember. But I think since 2010 to 2012. Before that, I was doing bodybuilding. I was taking very good care of my body. And I've met some of these YouTubers on here, guys. Don't get it twisted. Some of these people on YouTube are in good shape. I would say the person that I met that was probably in the best shape out of everybody that I met on here has been in terms of like the atheists or the Dragnuts, the Fionas, and those people when I met them at that time. I think the person that was either in the best shape was either Reg Redrick, or JD Kane. That probably was the best two people. Dragnut was not in good shape. I'm sorry, he just wasn't. And neither was Nate. Neither was the some of the other people that was there. So a lot of people like to criticize because they could do it behind their computer. If we had to meet in person and we had to actually compete in some type of athletic competition, that's when the truth is going to come out. I played basketball on my high school team. I played baseball on my high school team. I played soccer on my high school team. I won co-MVP in the high school that I was going to. I am an extremely competitive person. I won a ping pong tournament where I came in first place, and I annihilated everybody, including the host of the marathon tournament. Not the marathon tournament, of the ping pong tournament. I don't always come into first place when I compete in these things. I'm just saying that I'm really competitive, and it's one of the things that turns people off about me. Vaco will tell you. I think Shanny's talked about it a few times. There's a lot of people that don't like me because of how competitive I am. Matt Dillahunty, I'm not going to lie. One of the reasons why I hounded him for years about debating me on the slavery issue, one of the reasons why I hounded him is because of how competitive I am. I knew Matt Dillahunty didn't have a chance. That's why I kept challenging him. It's because of this competitive nature that I have that I really need to rebuke in the name of Jesus and stop doing all the time, to be perfectly honest. I need to be more of a team player and stop being like I want to be the best at everything and whatnot, you know? Because if I really let loose, I'll start bragging about this and bragging about that, and it's not beneficial to me. It's not beneficial to my listeners. It's not beneficial to anybody. It doesn't benefit Who's somebody that watches this channel? It doesn't benefit Sabella to hear about, oh, hey, G-Man can play ping pong. Sabella don't care. Sabella doesn't care if I can play ping pong. Sabella doesn't care if I can play pool. Sabella doesn't care if I can play chess. Sabella don't care about them things. So why get on here and talk about those things, right? And I'm trying to stay away from that because I know what I was like before I became a Christian, you know. But again, Tad, this video was specifically for you, man, and also for the people that wanted to know how I did in my marathon. Next time I get on here, I'll show everybody my medal and everything and whatnot. Show everybody my shirt, and maybe in the community post, I'll put a picture of me participating in the marathon for everyone so that they can see it. I just didn't want to do it because I'm kind of focused on some videos that I want to make on here, and I know some people saw the video I did today and it didn't make no sense to them, but that's just me giving the dragoons a receipt. And honestly, that's what I'm going to be doing a lot this year, and that's giving them receipts because honestly, they've been hounding me for years on here, and now it's my turn. Now it's my turn. You know. So let's see what we got here. Let me see. What are you guys saying in the chat? Lubit says the reason why I wanted to debate Matt Dillon because I lost and I wanted it back. No, I didn't lose. If you go to the Christian community, a lot of them are using the arguments that I used when I called them the atheist experience. A lot of people really appreciate it when I called them to the atheist experience, and as a matter of fact, it encouraged their faith. A lot of people think Matt Dillon don't know nothing about the topic now. A lot of atheists, not a lot of atheists, a lot of people that saw that episode really don't understand what happened that day when I called the atheist experience. I don't think a lot of people understood that. Matt does. That's why Matt doesn't want to debate me. I've been on here with S.J. Thomason. She agrees. I've been on here with several other Christians. They agree. There's some atheists that would love to see it. What's his name? Dr. Josh said he would like to see it. There's a lot of people on here that want to see it. But, you know, Matt's got to find some self-confidence and face me, you know? I don't know what you're talking about, Todd. What do you mean? Not surprised that G-Man supports a person making comments about... You know what, Todd? I don't know what you're talking about, Todd. I think you're trying to play games, so stop it. Or if Sabella got mod, you're gonna be gone. Cut it out, Todd. You're just bitter because I didn't respond to your diss rap yet. As a matter of fact, let me see something here. Do I have you on my StreamYard? Let me see something here. I gotta upload that to this. I ain't doing it now though. It would take too long. Because I got something for you, Todd. I got something for you, dude. Let's see. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. I just wanted to put Tatted in this place. Tatted, listen to me, Tatted. Congratulations, you can bench press 350 pounds. Congratulations. Okay? Stop. Listen to me very carefully here. Stop comparing yourself to an endurance runner. Find another guy on here who benches what you bench and compare yourself to them. Then you will understand why this video was made. Okay? I think I did very well in my marathon. I think I trained hard, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to train harder because I did not hit my goal of 3.5 hours, and that's what I want, and I want that bad, very bad. I want that badder than debating Matt Dillon hunting. I want that badder than a lot of stuff. As a matter of fact, I would take all the money I got from that house, selling that house, get and hit the rewind button and don't even sell the place and still have the place. I would rather do that than have what happened, you know, this year or whatever with the marathon. I actually want to do 3.5 hours, 3.5 hour marathon time. That's what I want to do. Nas the Dragon. He says instant gratification, sin, misery, depression is a form of disease and sleepiness and death. Nas the Dragon. Let me see something here. Real talk though, sin is blanking me up like for real. Yoshi, hello. No shirt on. Is this a midlife crisis? Nas, if you're talking about yourself, what I can tell you about that is to go into prayer and spend some time focusing on Jesus. The longer you focus on Jesus, the faster you'll get out of whatever that you're in. Whatever your focus is on, that's what you're going to continue to do. That's all I can say about that. Hopefully that helps. I didn't block nobody. Who's this? Your is a baddie? Did you block? No, I didn't block nobody. I have mods on here though, and they will block somebody if they get on here being disrespectful or whatever. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. Again, what you're looking at here for my photo is me finishing. Is me passing the finish line right there. That's me passing the finish line, and that is what I'm proud of because a lot of people in that marathon, unfortunately, did not pass that finish line. There were some people that did not do it. They quit because of the hills. Okay, it's a very hard on your body. I couldn't work for 3 days after that. 3 days I couldn't work. My legs were killing me. I've never experienced anything like that in my life to the point you can't even bend your knees. Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I'll leave you with, let me see something. Should we do burnt toast? Shanny. Which one should we do? I'll leave you guys with, you know what? Let's just go out regular.